Viewers, tonight we begin with breaking news that has sent shockwaves through both the media world and Washington, D.C. Disney's ABC network has suspended its flagship late-night show, Jimmy Kimmel Live, indefinitely. The decision follows a wave of controversy surrounding comments Jimmy Kimmel made during his Monday night monologue, comments that tied directly into one of the most politically charged tragedies of the year. On Monday night, Jimmy Kimmel opened his show with remarks about the fatal shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, the co-founder of Turning Point USA and a high-profile ally of former President Donald Trump. Tyler Robinson, a 24-year-old man now accused of fatally shooting Kirk during an event at Utah Valley University, has been described by authorities as someone who had expressed frustration with Kirk's rhetoric. Text messages revealed by prosecutors show Robinson saying he had, quote, "enough of Kirk's hatred." His mother told investigators that her son had recently shifted politically, leaning more left and becoming more supportive of LGBTQ rights. But in his monologue, Kimmel framed Robinson differently, criticizing Republicans by saying the MAGA gang was desperately trying to characterize Robinson as something other than one of them and accused conservatives of using the murder for political points. Those comments were immediately seized upon by conservative media figures and political activists, who argued that Kimmel misrepresented Robinson's political leanings and crossed the line by politicizing a murder. The real shock came just 48 hours later. Federal Communications Commission Chairman Brendan Carr, a Trump ally, blasted Kimmel's comments as, quote, "the sickest conduct possible." Speaking in interviews with right-wing commentators, including Benny Johnson and Sean Hannity, Carr warned that the FCC could take steps to punish ABC, even going so far as to suggest that broadcast licenses could be revoked. He added, "Broadcasters have an obligation to serve the public interest. If they don't like it, they can turn their license into the FCC." That warning had an immediate effect. Nexstar Media Group, one of the largest owners of television stations in America, announced that all of its ABC affiliates, more than 200 across the country, would begin preempting Jimmy Kimmel Live indefinitely. Nexstar is currently awaiting FCC approval for a $6.2 billion merger deal, so their decision sparked even more speculation about political pressure behind the move. Within hours of Nexstar's announcement, ABC executives Robert Iger, Disney's CEO, and Dana Walden, Disney's TV chief, decided to suspend Kimmel's show altogether. According to insiders, the decision was made quickly and without input from the company's board. President Trump wasted no time celebrating the move. From his Truth Social account, he wrote, "Congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done." For Trump, the suspension is a victory in his ongoing battle with what he calls the legacy media. Over the past few years, he has repeatedly sued networks like ABC and the New York Times, with several cases ending in multi-million-dollar settlements. Trump's critics say this is part of a broader strategy, using lawsuits, regulatory threats, and public pressure to silence dissenting voices. The backlash, however, has been fierce. Senator Chuck Schumer, the Senate Minority Leader, called the decision outrageous. The Writers Guild of America, the Screen Actors Guild, the American Civil Liberties Union, and even the American Federation of Musicians released statements condemning the suspension. They say this is not about community values, it's about censorship. Union leaders argued that what we are seeing is the government using its power to suppress lawful expression. The WGA summed it up this way: "If free speech applied only to ideas we like, we needn't have bothered to write it into the Constitution." Wanda Sykes, who was scheduled to appear as a guest on Kimmel's show the very night it was canceled, released an emotional Instagram video. She criticized Trump directly, saying, "He didn't end the Ukraine war or solve Gaza in his first week, but he did end freedom of speech in his first year." She ended by urging people to pray for Jimmy. This controversy also comes at a time when late-night television is already struggling. Ratings for traditional late-night shows have been falling for years. CBS recently announced the cancellation of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, officially citing financial challenges. But many in the industry believe political pressure was also a factor, as Colbert, like Kimmel, has long been an outspoken critic of Trump. For many observers, what's happening to Jimmy Kimmel feels like a turning point. Critics are asking, is this about protecting the public interest, Or is it the first step toward direct government interference in what entertainers and journalists can say on air? Supporters of the suspension argue that Kimmel crossed a line by making what they call false political accusations in the aftermath of a tragedy. But opponents warn that if government regulators can pressure networks into removing shows simply because they dislike the content, the future of free speech in America looks uncertain. So the big question tonight, will Jimmy Kimmel return? Or has one of America's most famous late-night hosts become the latest casualty in the ongoing war between politics and media? Let us know what you think in the comments. Do you believe ABC was right to pull the plug? Or is this a dangerous precedent for censorship? And if you want more in-depth coverage of stories where entertainment, politics, and free speech collide, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. We'll keep you updated on every twist in this story.